Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order at 7:08. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight, and we are going to jump right in with our showcase, and we are very, very excited about that. So I'm going to let Dr. Cummings do the introductions.
Okay, well, I'm going to have Matt and Abby come up to the podium, but I will just say I am so pleased that we have the opportunity to honor our winter athletes, and Bridget and Cole are amongst the best that we have seen in a long time, and so it's been a joy to watch them develop over the last 4 years and kind of become the very accomplished young man and young woman that they are now. So I'll let Matt and Abby talk a little bit more about them, but we're extremely proud of them.
Yes, thanks for having us here. We're very fortunate to have these two in the school system and have stayed in the school system.
Hold on, I'm just going to, is the microphone on? Sometimes you got to push the button and the light comes on.
That it?
Yeah.
Oh, there, that's way
This is
louder.
for all the people watching at home.
Absolutely. So we're really excited about these two student athletes. They're great kids. We could be here any one of the 3 sports seasons for these two. We happen to be here representing winter, but we'd like to bring these two up. They're just fantastic teammates, leaders in our school, and just great representatives of Narragansett High School in our sports program. So please welcome Grace Blessing and Cole Francis. So Abby and I are going to go back and forth. We have a laundry list of accolades, and again, this is just winter. This could be any one of our seasons for each one of these athletes. But Grace was a member of the girls' basketball team. She won the RIIL Leadership and Service Award and was the team captain.
Cole Francis, indoor track and field team captain. He is the 1,500-meter class champion, and he was second in the state.
And Grace led her team to a Division II regular season championship, a Division II state championship, and led the team to an Elite 8 appearance, which is the furthest any Narragansett basketball team has advanced to on the state level.
Not to be outdone, Cole Francis, 1,000-meter division champion, Class C champion, state champion, second in New England, and ranked 33rd in the country.
Well, Grace was all division, all academic, all class, and all state.
And Cole Francis broke the school record in the indoor 600, 800, 1,000, and 1,500.
That's pretty good. And Grace was a 1,000-point scorer, which is only the 9th in school history. And she ranked 17th in the country for assists. And she also committed to play basketball at Salve Regina University next fall.
While Cole Francis has committed to continuing his athletic career at URI, he will be joining the track team and majoring in engineering.
We're really happy to have both of these kids staying home to compete in college as well. Hopefully we'll get an opportunity to see them on the playing fields after they graduate. But once again, it's been an extreme pleasure for all of us to have them in our program. And we'll open it up if you have any questions for the athletes.
I have a question for each one of them. First with Grace, when did you first start playing basketball? And was it like in a rec league and that? And what position did you play on the high school team?
I can't remember the exact age I started. I mean, I can't remember a time I wasn't playing basketball, whether it was just in the driveway. My parents actually had a 3v3 league. That's probably my first real memories of playing the sport. It was at the elementary school, and every Friday night, just a bunch of girls would come play. It was so much fun. I then would play up with my sister, which was a lot of fun. For the basketball team, I played point guard for my position.
Nice. And I've got a question for Cole. For indoor, what's your favorite distance that you'd like to race? And then what was your best time in that? Because it's, you know, you've got all these accolades for all the different distances, but what's like the race that you really like? And then what was
Yeah.
your best time?
Yeah, that's actually a hard question. I do love all the events that I do. For a while, the longer distances were my favorite, but this season, actually going down in the distances were a lot of fun for me. So I'd say this past season, I'd go with the 1K was my favorite event, and my best time for that was 2:30.
Does the committee have any other questions or comments?
Were you guys competing against each other?
You
Or
know,
just that
I
happened
will
here?
just say one other thing, is that, I'm the parent of two college athletes, and, one of the things that I see of their teammates in college and for them is just the drive that it takes to be there. And it's just such a credit to the two of you that you have the drive, not only to succeed at this level, but to be able to be there at that next level and to have the academic foundation to be able to be considered for that, because there's lots of talented athletes, but not everyone is considered to play at the next level because of the time management and academic burden. And so it's such a credit to both of you, not only for your athletic accomplishments, but we know that coaches really they want good people. And one of the things that we've heard over and over again about both of these students who are amazing is just that they're amazing people as well. So we're really proud of them.
Thank you so much.
Grace, have you decided what you want to major in at Salve?
Yeah, I'm going to major in political science.
Very good. Good year for it.
Well, that's great, and as Dr. Cummings said, that really is the most important thing, that you are a well-rounded person, you're a kind person with great sportsmanship and leadership skills, and that's awesome. So we're very proud of you, and we really appreciate that you took the time to come tonight.
Yes.
So with that, we have some very nice framed certificates from the district, and Lauren is really good about, okay, I want you to stand here, you do this, and then we'll do individual this, and parents can come up. So Lauren, I have the certificates. I'm going to turn this over to you. Do you want anything with the full school committee first, or how do you want to do this? So I'd love to have you present them certificates. Okay. Photos, and then have the full committee, and then both of our athletes. Great. She's got it. She's got it. And parents, thank you for coming tonight. Don't be shy. Stand up. Get a good photo op. Whatever you guys want to do. And thank you. lighting to this, the standing, it's great, it's good. You need someone to do that.
So, just through, I don't think I ever did this. So Steve's not here, Karen's not here, so I'll be doing all of their stuff tonight.
Okay.
Yes, in their voices. That's a good one. I have to find the budget report. All right, there we go.
You have the one with the numbers, too. All set? Okay, so we're going to jump right back into our meeting. First, is there a motion to seal the executive session minutes from tonight?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 4-0. And tonight, in executive session, we did approve 2 homeschooling requests, and those were both approved 4-0. It's now time for open forum. Is there anyone that would like to speak? Okay, we are moving on then. We're going to start with oral reports and school reports. And why don't we change it up and work our way backwards and start with the high school, then the middle school, and the elementary school? How about that? And then we'll do special services at the end. But all right, high school.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm going to try to get this done faster than Cole can run his favorite race. We'll see.
Wow. Oh, wait, I'm that.
You got
Gonna be quick.
2 minutes and
30 seconds.
We actually have a lot of award recognitions tonight, so kind of staying in that same flavor. NHS is proud to both announce and recognize the Narragansett High School class of 2025 valedictorian Liz Jennison and salutatorian Avery Schaffs. So congratulations to them on all their hard work. Congratulations to juniors Karuna Lohman and Ethan Smith for qualifying for the 2026 National Merit Scholarship Program. There were 1.3 million entrants, and they made the cut for the top 50,000. We'll find how far, if they make the next cut, by the beginning of the school year. And kudos to Karuna as well for winning a gold medal at the Scholastic Art and Writing Awards. The national medalists were invited to spend a week in New York City, and she was able to go to Carnegie Hall to be recognized for her achievement. So that was a great achievement for her. Abby Zelenak has been awarded the WPI Innovation Award, guaranteeing her a minimum $25,000 merit scholarship per academic year upon acceptance. Abby will also receive an application fee waiver this summer for the upcoming admission cycle, and the award is given to a high school junior who demonstrates outstanding potential in the STEM field. Congratulations to Abby. Congratulations also to Ryan Goodburn, who was selected as a recipient of the 2025 Lieutenant Governor Leadership Award. Every year, the Lieutenant Governor's Office honors high school seniors from across Rhode Island who have demonstrated an outstanding commitment to community leadership. Ryan was nominated for going above and beyond to make our community a better place and will be recognized during a ceremony in the House of Representative Chambers on May 5th. Congratulations to the Narragansett High School Band and Dan Healy for achieving a superior rating at the Rymea Senior Band Festival. That's the highest they can get, so that's a great recognition for them. Congratulations to Maeve Johnson for winning first place in Senator Jack Reed's art competition. Artwork recognition is at the Warwick Mall. Sarah McGuire will also be recognized with a painting on display. And then Maeve's first place winner after the mall, it goes to Senator Jack Reed's office, where it's displayed for a year in his office. The Rhode Island Nanobioengineering Academy recently presented research to engineering professors, students, and family members in the beautiful new URI Engineering Lab. Congratulations to Nick Bridges for winning first place for poster and presentation, and congratulations to Eason Smith for winning a paid internship in the URI Chemical Engineering Lab this summer. And thanks to Mr. Reese for spearheading this group and providing such a meaningful learning experience for our students. That was done in conjunction with NK, and they had a bunch of cooperative meetings and opportunities to learn together. So that was a great experience. Couple that I'm going to skip over because he just does such a great job, but Marco has a thorough list of things, and when we were going over, I realized that we had a lot of doubles, so I'm going to let him take that away. Just where we are really at the high school, we're at the tail end of our master scheduling process, so we'll be finalizing that within the next week or so, and really kind of looking at establishing those, strong schedules for next year, having an opportunity to circle back with students. And I would urge any parents, to kind of use this time to make sure that if there are any changes, to reach out to counselors, teachers, administrators for questions, conversations, and advice so that we can make sure that we have all that ready to go prior to the summer. And our upcoming events, we have the junior prom, which is at Harbor Lights in Warwick on May 2nd. May 5th through 15th are the AP exams. The 2 Saturdays, May 10th and May 17th, are our FFA plant sale. And then May 19th through 30th would be our senior final exam and project period as the seniors kind of work on closing out their Mariner journey.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you for taking the time to share those specifics about the accolades. It's really impressive. It's wonderful to hear.
Yes.
Does anyone have any questions for the high school? Okay.
Thank
And
you.
Marco does have a very comprehensive report coming up, so that's good. All right, so thank you. We'll move on to the peer school.
Hi, good evening. I'm pinch hitting for Emily, who's out of town right now. But let's go through some of the activities and things that are going on at the peer school. Our students still continue to demonstrate excellence in academics and arts and community engagement while preparing for our end-of-the-year activities and transitions. First thing we're going to be working on is on April 30th, where we are inviting parents of rising fifth graders to learn about their children's upcoming transitions. That will be from 6 to 7 p.m. That will provide important information about the school, schedules, and expectations at NPS. And we look forward to meeting incoming fifth grade parents at that time as well. The NPS PTO is popular Top Golf event returns. So they had some success at the elementary school, so they're going to try it at the peer school. That will be on April 27th, 5 to 7 p.m., $20. Tickets purchased in advance provide 2 hours of unlimited gameplay and fountain drinks, students' achievements. One thing I will say about that, we're really starting to build the PTO presence at the peer school. It's kind of died down over the years, so it's nice to see that there's some flow from the elementary school moving into the middle school. Fifth grader Sienna Lato has earned an outstanding honor by placing second in the state of Rhode Island for her Americanism essay. Sienna's journey began with a submission to South County's Elk Lodge, which advanced to the state competition where she secured second place among all fifth graders. Congratulations, Sienna. I do have a copy of that letter if you want to see that. I can provide that at the end. MPS concert band. So in April, we had the band and chorus attend the RIMIA events that are around the state. So Junior Concert Band Festival in late March. Through their dedicated practice and hard work, on April 4th, chorus members, they had a superior rating for band, and on April 4th, the choral festival in Barrington Middle School earned a silver rating for their performance, and students sang for choral adjudicators and other chorus students from around the state, performing beautifully while being respectful audience members. Recent events that we had our annual March Madness event at the peer school. We provide students with an unforgettable experience. It's probably one of the events that brings in almost the entire population of the peer school on one Friday night for 2 hours. Thanks to Karen Fester for her outstanding organization. We had some Narragansett High School students that helped out as well and volunteered for community service credits, and our peer school staff that helped make that night. We also want to thank and give our gratitude to Barron's Ice Cream for donating ice cream, and also for Ethan Farrell. Nice to see a former student coming back with the Sunset Farm truck on premises where the students were able to enjoy local cuisine. We also had Mishki Thompson, a talented Narragansett Native American artist specializing in beadwork. She worked with some of our 7th grade students. This project provided students with a deeper understanding of traditional beading crafts and the rich history and culture of the Narragansett tribe. It was an enriching opportunity for students to connect with and learn from a skilled artist while gaining insight into Native American traditions. We also had our NHD competition that finished up right at the end of March. The theme was rights and responsibilities in history. Students worked individually or in groups to create websites, documentaries, exhibits, performances, or papers showcasing their research. NHD contest winners will be, Emily said she was going to send in a list of the winners for all the categories to the school committee. The top 2 entries in each category at affiliate contests advances to the national contest held at University of Maryland. And then finally, it was Earth Day the other day. I know there were grade 6 students going around the property at the Pierce School just picking up some litter and trash that has just accumulated over time in the winter months. But that's it, and I'll give the letter from the Sienna's letter for anyone that wants to look at that.
Are there any questions for the Pierce School? That was a very, very busy spring, holy cow. Any questions for the Pierce School?
Sounds great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Ryan. On to the elementary school.
Hello, everybody. So at the elementary school, I just want to give a good kudos out to our 4th grade theater students and the directors. The Lion King kids went off without a hitch. The students were amazing in the production, and they sang brilliantly, they acted brilliantly, and this year we actually added some dance into it with the help of Jessica DeReamer, who, other than being an art teacher, she also has a dance background, so she took a little portion of that, so now we even had some dance in the show. Molly Hamill, of course, did an amazing job with the students, with their singing and performing, and Brian Jennings did a great job with sets and sound system and just overall basic support for all the kids. It was an amazing show, I think one of the best ones yet. So congratulations to them. We've completed our ELA portion of the state RICAS testing, and we're gearing up for our math that will be happening on May 6th and May 8th. We're, of course, hoping for great results. The students are working so diligently. I really have to say our kids really put forth such a great effort. Our art show that we will be having will be May 1st, 5 to 7. The theme this year is In the Garden. Mr. Reamer is working with all the students to make sure they have at least one. I will say there's probably going to be multiple pieces of artwork where she turns the entire school into an art gallery. If you have a chance, please come and see it because it's such an amazing transition. There's going to be an interactive installation with a Monet-style art piece where, I'm not going to give it away, and a giant sculpture. So if you'd like to come and see that all students have participated in building. So it's going to be lovely. On Wednesday, May 8th, we're having, a long time ago it was Pizza Picnic, Pizza Pig Out, then it was Pizza Picnic. Now we're doing Pizza Palooza. May 8th, the PTO will be hosting Pizza Palooza, our annual pizza picnic, which will be outside with games and more for families to attend from 5:30 to 7. So we're looking for a good turnout. It's usually a fun event. And Ryan mentioned a little bit about transitioning from grade 4 to grade 5. Emily and I have been working with the peer staff and our staff to make sure the transition goes smoothly. So on our end, 4th graders have been transitioning from classes without like full-on walking to class supervision. They don't need to walk in the straight line. They're kind of practicing what it will look like at peer school. In May and June, the 4th grade teachers will be switching kids, so they get a chance of having a little bit of class time with different teachers and doing a little bit of mix-up for that. I know that Emily and Stephanie Mesnati will be coming to our school to meet with the students for questions and answers before they do their tour in June. And Emily also set up pen pals. So 5th graders are writing letters to 4th graders, and on the day that they do their tour, they're going to get to meet their pen pal in person and have snack and do some playtime outside with them. So we're hoping for a really nice transition for our 4th graders. And last but not least, we won an opportunity through Playworks, which is the Recess Rocks people that we've been working with for many years now, to have URI athletes come to our recess and visit with our second, third, and fourth grade students and really talk about the importance of play versus competition at the elementary school during recess time specifically. We have a lot of competition in this town. And when it comes to recess, sometimes we have to really focus on what's fun and how to just have fun with each other. So they came and spent 3 recesses with second, third, and fourth grade. And it was an amazing opportunity for our kids. They actually did a little like question and answer with the fourth graders about being an athlete and the difference in how important play is and how it's helped them become athletes. So it was really nice, and the kids had a blast. You'll see some pictures in our upcoming newsletter with them. And that is my presentation. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Yeah, that's really cool. Is that the first time that that happened with the URI athletes coming?
Yes, well, usually the athletes, we've had a couple opportunities this year. It wasn't necessarily through Playworks. At Halloween time, the URI basketball team reached out to us, and they came, and they actually did a little presentation, and they met with, they just did 1 grade, but they were really amazing. And then sometimes they come and support us during field day, but this was through Playworks, so it was kind of a combination. It was great.
Well, that sounds
Boys
awesome.
and girls teams.
Very cool, yeah. Any questions for the elementary school?
No? Well, we hope to
Okay.
see you at the art show if you can make it.
Tell us the date one more time.
May 1st.
And the
Next
time?
Friday, next Thursday, I believe. It is 5:30 to 7.
Okay,
Okay?
good.
We'll see
Thank you,
s-
Lisa.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, student services.
Hello. I'm here tonight because Melissa is attending the Case Academy of Law and Leadership Conference this week as part of her National Leadership Institute that she's been working on this year, so she's not here tonight. Melissa and I are finishing up organizing our extended school year program for the summer. The dates of that program are July 8th through July 31st. We're excited to share that our Narragansett Special Education Action Committee, we're hosting an event, and it'll be on Wednesday, May 15th at the Pier School. It's free to all families. We're trying to grow the community, so there's a little bit of a grow vibe throughout it. We're going to be planting flowers. There'll be cookie decorating, make dirt dessert cups. There'll be sports time in the gym, and dinner will be provided. So this way families can get to know each other and learn more about the community, the committee for the special ed parents that we have. And also an update on preschool registration. We have received numerous families have been reaching out since registration opened in February. I'm happy to say that we have 6 completely filled classrooms, and we do have a wait list that could go for another classroom. And as I always say, that we have to save spots for students coming in through early intervention. So we're really busy in preschool, but it's going well.
That's great news with the preschool numbers.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
There's, even today, I got a family that reached out, so.
That's great. Any questions for student services?
Did you say dirt dessert cups?
Dirt dessert cups, chocolate pudding, crushed cookies, gummy worms. Yeah, not actual dirt. No, we will give them pudding and cookies. Yes.
All right, well, thank you
you.
very much.
Thanks.
Okay. All right, well, we're going to move on to school committee reports. Does anybody have a report to give? CJ? Sure, you want to go first, CJ?
There we go. So one, I was over at the senior project day, the presentations, and that was just simply amazing. That was my first time. Just that day was just amazing. I was so enthralled and impressed with the students, and they just make them smarter and smarter. I got to watch one student build from the beginning his own garden, the entire garden, and the beds, and the measuring and all that it took from it. And he did it with the math and having to go purchase everything and figure out how to get the money for that and go to Home Depot and then build it. And it was all for also the love of being able to go to college and be able to come back and have something of his own in his family's house. So that was amazing. Another student with community service, gathering gifts at the town hall and the different schools and delivering them to senior centers at Christmas time. That was enlightening. And another student was cooking the paella. And it was just wonderful to watch and how impressed and how grown up they were and dressed up, and their presentation skills blew me away. I just was so impressed by the overall entire scheme of it. And then the high school, the whole thing just totally impressed me completely. I know Diane's going to do the peer school, but do you want to do the peer school and then I'll come back to my?
No, go ahead and finish.
Also, I went to the Recreation Advisory Board, and they were continuing on the beach and the parks and how the beach is going to be opening, and you can get some storage lockers and that. And they're also talking about some more, the community center and having more information on that. So I'm seeing on Narragansett Social too, more on the community center and getting that more out too. And also, it's beach time, so everybody can go get their passes and all that fun stuff. So it's really getting the beach ready. That's been the most focus, but that's also a learning experience for me too. But it was great. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
On March 28th, CJ and I were among the judges for the National History Day, which is an 8th grade competition at the Pierce School. And as Ryan mentioned, the theme this year was rights and responsibilities in history. And I was very impressed with the quality of the projects that I judged, and I think CJ thinks the same. There was one project that was an audio-visual presentation, and if I hadn't known it was 8th grade students that produced it, I would have thought it was professionally done. It was that good. So I'm really hoping to get good news for that one, to going all the way to national and so forth. And just ditto to everything you said about the senior projects. Every year it's extremely interesting, and one of them that I had that never had before was a young man who built a spear gun out of wood. So it was very dangerous looking.
Well, I'm really glad that both of you were able to attend those two important events, so that's great. Okay. All right, we are on to the student report. Marco.
Great, thank you. Good evening to you all, and happy April. Hope you all had a nice Easter. We've officially closed Q3 at the high school, and as Mr. Fiore mentioned, we are definitely finishing the year strong. So while I'll be finishing my role as liaison this year, we still hope to continue representing the voices to the school committee over the last month. And while I've really enjoyed my term here, I will be off to college next year, so Mr. Fiore and Mr. McCluskey are going to start working through applications for next year's representative, and I hope to be a part of some of that process as well. So a couple of things, as Ms. Tudino and Dr. Nobles has mentioned, we had Senior Project Presentation Day. Just super thankful for all the community members, parents, teachers, counselors, secretary, local politicians, retired faculty, Jamestown faculty and staff, who came in to judge the senior projects. I had the pleasure of having Dr. Cummings and Dr. Denton as judges, so definitely enjoyed having two familiar faces.
And you were amazing.
Thank you. We know these people take a significant time out of their busy schedules to watch these projects, so it's much appreciated. So I wanted to share that while the new schedule crammed the month of March, it is just so relieving now with all the other pieces that we're working through, having that done. I know I can say that, but hopefully next month I look forward to collecting maybe some more data on what students thought of the new schedule this year, since that was the first time. I met with the newly formed Cell Phone Policy Committee on March 31st. Huge shout out to Committee Chair, Mr. McCloskey. He did an outstanding job of running this meeting effectively. This committee included a small group of students, parents, teachers, and administrators from across the district. And we were broken up into small groups to discuss policies and see what some other districts were doing. And it was actually very interesting to compare and contrast and see some positives and negatives. So again, I enjoyed sitting Dr. Cummings in that small group as we discussed that policy. And our next meeting will be March 28th in the NHS cafeteria. And as you know, I've done a lot of work on this topic, and this was a topic where it was so important and crucial to not only cover the side of students, but also faculty as well, because they see it in a different light than maybe we see it. So I hope you can take the time to read through some of the data I provided for you. A couple of quick updates. Last night we had our outdoor track dual meet at the track. It was a great night. Huge shout out to Mr. Fiore, who actually came to the meet. Congratulations to my friends Jackson Ferraro and Jack Gianetto, who placed in the plumbing competition for Skills USA. They placed second and third, I believe, in plumbing. They were honored at the Vets in Providence. And also to some of our digital media production students who placed as well. Mr. Fiore had mentioned a couple of events coming up in May and June, and I wrote them down as well if you want to take a look at that. Some I did not write because they were not finalized. Next Thursday, May 1st, is Decision Day, so the seniors will wear their college t-shirts, and we'll go over superlatives as well. May 12th, prom tickets go on sale that whole week, and May 28th are the Physics Olympics. Lastly, I would like to just shout out Mr. Fiore, who's in his second year. He's just done an outstanding job in his role as principal, and as a student, he's just really helped me so much with this position, especially with when you're collecting data for cell phones too, with advice and leadership. And like before every meeting, he takes the time, he sits down for me like, are you good? Like, do you have your report ready? Like, as you mentioned, we collaborate really well, and he's someone I'm really gonna miss, honestly, when I graduate, so. Oh, and anyone who's interested in ordering a 2024 to 2025 Narragansett High School yearbook, there are plenty still available for order, so if you're interested, please see me or reach out. And I'm open to questions.
Not a question, but a comment. I really enjoyed, getting the staff input. Like I thought, did you design that Google Form survey?
Yes, so it was my idea, and a while ago I had a conversation with Mr. Fiore about what he wanted that to look like, because he's someone who was also like, collect both sides. And I created the survey, he had looked at it, and then we checked with Mr. McCloskey, who's the Cell Phone Policy Committee Chair, to kind of go over what we thought was important, what he wanted to include, because he really wants the feedback of us and the parents, teachers as well. So it was definitely a process, but yes, I did write that.
Well, I thought it was great, and I'm really glad that the staff took the time to do the open-ended, because sometimes people are so over-surveyed and over-sampled, they're just like, I don't know, wait and see, but they actually took time to give you in the school a lot of feedback. So great survey, and thank you for sharing that data with us. It's really interesting to read all the comments that the teachers had. And, as always, great report, like very succinct, very clear, high level, and you hit all the points that the school committee is interested in. What are those big end-of-year events that are coming up? What are some highlights? So well done as always. So very thorough, so I don't have any questions. Any other school committee members have any questions or comments for Marco?
I just want to say you've done yeoman's work, and we appreciate it very much, not just with this report, but with your earlier reports, too.
Thank you. It's just been so amazing. It's been such a great opportunity, and I've learned so much from this position. So it's definitely something that I'm going to miss, and I will let you know how the process for next year's representative goes.
I guess I have one future question for future Marco. Do you ever see yourself perhaps running for an elected office, whether it's school committee or town council or state rep or anything like that?
Well, I think I'm focusing on college first, right? But
I mean, future Marco in his late 20s, 30s, and beyond.
definitely maybe some thoughts, but you never know.
Yeah. Well, if you end up serving your community in that capacity, they'd be very lucky to have you, and I'm quite sure you'd get elected for whatever position you pick. All right, President Marco, we'll see him down the road, so, right? Anything else for Marco before we move on? Okay, yeah, thank you. All right, so Dr. Cummings, you're up, superintendent's report.
So our school and student reports were really thorough, so I'm just going to add one or two little pieces just for your information. So as Marco reflected, and I think it's important for the committee to understand that the high school administration took a lot of feedback from students around, first in the fall, if you remember, we had this discussion last year about like the senior paper and when things were due. And then they also did some considering about what happens in the spring. So they did a really nice job, again, with student input of rethinking what senior spring looks like. And so typically the senior projects were much later in the year. And what we were finding is that students were getting really overwhelmed with end of year projects, as well as AP classes, as well as senior projects, all coming at the same time. So by making them come a little bit earlier, it was really, and certainly Marco attested to this already, but while it seems like a lot while we're coming into it, just to have that in the rearview mirror, it's such an accomplishment for students. It is literally my favorite day of the year. To come and watch the amazing things that students present about. Marco's project was incredibly thoughtful. He did a great job. And so, kudos to the high school administration for not just sticking to the timeline that we've always done, but really receiving input and thinking differently about it. Again, we're right in the middle of our state testing, so I'm gratified to our students for putting in great effort, to our teachers for prepping our students to be ready for that, and for our parents for taking it seriously and sending students in and ready to work and ready to do their best, right? We know that any one mark, is just, of that day, but it is a great indicator and dipstick about where we want to be. And so to that end, we were invited 2 weeks ago, a team from Narragansett to speak at a conference put on by the Annenberg Institute at Brown to talk about our progress in mathematics, how we got here, some of the things that we're doing around thinking classrooms and how we're rethinking our instructional paradigm to really have more student voice and more student engagement. We're seeing some really nice progress on that. We continue to work on that. As a reminder, we have a pretty significant grant from the Rhode Island Foundation to do that. And finally, I want to end with some incredible news. And so we have been selected, and kudos to Connor McCluskey, John O'Brien, and the team at the high school to receive a $250,000 grant to establish a Blue Economy CTE that will be in maritime trades. And so the grant is to develop the program, to kind of get all of the coursework and the resources, the materials in place, and to begin that program going forward. And we're going to begin accepting applications in that a year from now. And so we'll begin in the fall of 26, right? And so we are really excited about that. We have lots of teachers that have been heavily involved in the design, current faculty, and we're excited. We have lots of local partners from the Blue Economy area that are going to be working with us on this. And again, it was an incredible effort on the part of Connor and the team at the high school to get that approved, and so we're excited about it.
That's a big reveal, Pete. That's
Yes.
huge news. So that's amazing.
I just got the paperwork today.
Okay, and I'm sure Lauren's going to work on a great press release. And when you do the press release, can you send it to the town council members and the town manager? And I'm not sure going into summer season where they're at with updates from the school department, but it would be great to have that in their written packet. I don't know if there is anyone that is going to a future meeting, or if that's kind of on pause until the fall or whatever, but obviously we want to share that in as many sources as possible, but I know we've had town council members in particular that have been interested in, like, did you ever think of this? Well, funny you should ask that.
Right, and so, and I want to in particular, highlight AJ D'Angelo and Zach Sirwich, who, are two of our teachers at the high school, put a ton of work into this along with Connor. It's really exciting.
Big news, Pete, that's great, so,
Yeah. Good news.
Okay.
So that's all I have for you.
okay. Any other questions for Pete? Marco?
Just have a comment. Again, it was an honor to have you as a judge. It was amazing. So thank you for taking the time to do that.
My pleasure, Mark.
I wonder if that was a random assignment. That's interesting, so,
Ms. O'Brien says that it was.
okay. That's great. All right, wow, that's big news. Love it, love it. Okay, so you're all set then, Dr. Cummings? Yeah. Okay, let's move on to consent agenda. Is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent to approve consent agenda items CA1B, CA2A, CA2B, and CA2C?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. So we are on to the budget report, and Dr. Cummings is going to give that.
So I am standing in for Karen, so here we go. Expenditures ending March 31st, 2025 totaled $22,896,669.36, which is 62.08% of our budget. Expenditures and encumbrances total $32,079,581.62, which is 86.97% of the budget. Between now and the end of the year, we hope to squirrel away whatever is left,
Okay.
as Frank would say.
Yep, that's right. Any questions for Pete? All right, thank you. All right, so we're moving on to the school committee business. The first item, is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent to approve the school committee meeting schedule for the 25-26 school year?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
So, Tammy, I will just say we followed our pattern that we've done in past years of working around school vacations and doing a workshop in the summer. You will note that the August meeting date is a little bit later, just in case there was any last-minute approvals or changes to handbook and that type of thing that we needed to do before school started.
Okay. Anyone have any questions or comments before we take a vote?
Now, this seems pretty standard for what we usually expect.
Okay. And are people okay with a 6 o'clock start time for the summer workshop, July 16th? And we can make that a dinner workshop? Okay. great.
Perfect. Well, now I'm convinced.
Okay. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. Very excited about the next agenda item. Is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent and the director of finance and administration to purchase furniture for the NHS library with installation from KI in the total amount of $65,743.70?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
So we have discussed this several times. It is something that is within the budget, and also the majority of this money is coming from the PTO, from the beach blanket bingo, or bidding. And so lots of B's there. And so we're really excited about that. Chris has been, again, working with students and working with Joanne Gongoleski, our librarian, to really rethink that space. And so, this is, again, fully within kind of both the donations and this year's budget. The company will put everything together. And so I highly recommend it to you.
Do you have any indication if with, the lead time and the fabric on the couches and all that stuff, Do you anticipate it'll be in place for when school opens, or are you not sure with the lead time?
It should be in place for school to open.
Okay. Well, and I appreciate how the quote, we get to actually see, a lot of specific information about the types of furniture and stuff like that. So very detailed quote that you gave us, and I appreciate that kind of level of detail.
Great.
I'm very
yeah.
excited about this.
I think the space is going to look great. Yeah, and so again, really modernizing it and being responsive to the way students study and the shape of the space.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. On to number 3. Is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent and the director of finance and administration to purchase furniture for the learning labs at NPS from School Outfitters in the total amount of $27,438.92?
So moved.
Discussion?
So many of you have been in the learning lab spaces that we have at the middle school, so we continue to expand and enhance those. It's really a kind of a more modern classroom with more flexible furniture spaces, lots of whiteboard space that really goes with our thinking classrooms approach. So this is something that is within our capital budget. The rest of the items are all within our capital budget. So this is money that was allocated for this year to get that done. And so, again, this is a space that really caters to student engagement, to more flexible learning space. It's used constantly by our teachers, and so we need to create more of that space.
And I'm really excited that in the scheme of, our capital budget of 1.1 or 1.3 million, it's a relatively small amount of money, but this is really going to have a high impact on students. Sometimes when it has to be the HVAC system and the roof and paving the parking lots, they're must-dos to protect the assets, but you don't get the impact. So when we are able to totally renovate specific spaces into 21st century learning spaces, it's very exciting.
Yes, we're excited about it.
Any other questions on this approval? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. On to number 5. Nope, on to number 4. Is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent and the director of finance and administration to accept the proposal from Martone Service Company Incorporated for window renovations at the Pierce School for $120,000 and $120,160?
So moved.
Discussion?
So again, this is part of our ongoing upkeep and maintenance of our buildings. Those windows have needed replacing for a while. If you look at our 10-year plan, the replacement of the windows has been a part of that plan for a good amount of time. So that is a must-do for this summer. That is part of our capital plan going forward. And so I highly recommend it to you. And again, we're doing this now because with the lead time of materials that we are anticipating, we want to get this approved as soon as possible so we can make sure that everything is placed so we can get our work done this summer.
All right, any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. On to number 5. Is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent and the director of finance and administration to accept the proposal from Robert F. Audette Incorporated for electrical panel upgrades at NHS for $126,866?
So moved.
Discussion?
This is, similar, right, in terms of making sure that we're doing our approvals now for something that is within our capital improvement plan, so that we have our materials and everything staged and ready to go once school ends. And so, if you have specific technical questions, I can have Steve get back to you. But again, he does a very thorough vetting of bidders in order to get to the highest quality work at the lowest possible rate.
Any questions? No. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. On to the next item. Is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent and the director of finance administration to accept the proposal from Martone Service Company Incorporated for repairing and painting the exterior insulation and finish systems drive-it at the Pierce School for $126,000?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
So again, if you can imagine, if you were looking at the Pierce School, the band that goes around the top of the Pierce School in that design, requires an extra level of care, in terms of cleaning and repair and those type of things. Sometimes kids will go and bounce a lacrosse ball off the wall there, and the lacrosse balls don't bounce off of that; they just break it. And so they, again, it needs some upkeep and maintenance. Part of the purpose of our plan and our capital plan is to make sure that we are keeping up with maintenance so that we don't have problems down the road. That's part of what this is.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. The next motion is extremely similar, it's just for the high school.
Correct.
So is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent and director of finance and administration to accept the proposal from Martone Service Company for repairing and painting the exterior insulation and finish systems drive-it at the high school for $98,000?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. Okay, on to the next item. Is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent and director of finance administration to accept the proposal from Martone Services for repairing and painting of classroom walls at the Pierce School for $254,000?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
So again, this is a much-needed renovation. A lot of those classrooms have not had the wallpaper taken down or been significantly modified since the school was built. And so this is a significant modernization along with the windows. That school's really going to glow, when they're done with it this summer.
It's very exciting. Again, that's going to be a great facelift for the interior and the exterior. Any questions on that one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. In our last business item for tonight, is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent and the director of finance and administration to accept a proposal from Automatic Temperature Controls Incorporated for Phase 1 of the HVAC modernization plan for the gym area at NES for $288,345?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
So this is a major piece to make sure that we have safe and comfortable spaces for students. So at the elementary school, that gym gets really hot. And so this is going to be, it's not air conditioning, but it is cooling the air and kind of treating the air within that gym space so that on hot days, it's going to be a usable space.
That is definitely going to be a huge benefit for the kids.
Absolutely.
Any questions for Pete? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. And I don't know if I made a mistake. Did I say 4-0? Did I say 5-0 on one of those? Okay. So 4-0, obviously, for all those. So my error. Thank you. Okay. Are there any communications that anyone wants to mention? Okay. So our next meeting in May 21st at 7 o'clock. Is there a motion to adjourn at 8:07?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?